for me, honestly, the secret of manifestation is like faith in a higher power. So I believe that you gonna get that, and you trust that you are the co-creator of your life, and
Yeah.
you are co-creating your life, and you have to believe that everything is possible. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Make Dreams Happen. Yeah, a regular episode. I have been doing like couple Spanish episode, but this one is a regular episode in English. So I'm so happy today. It's Saturday. It's been a busy day, and also this week was super busy for me, but it was really, really good. And today I'm happy because this episode we had a friend on the podcast that is coming back. His name is Brian, and he is a transformational life coach. He's a mentor, and he's a nice person. His energy is super calming, and he's super nice. It's always nice to be around him. Every time that I see him, I had a really good time. And today he's gonna be talking to us about manifestation. So yeah, this subject that a lot of coaches and a lot of mentors talk about it. That we're gonna talk about manifestation and his perspective and my perspective and how we can apply manifestation. But let's start this podcast and give a warm welcome to Brian. How are you, Brian?
Hi, Joseph. Hi, everyone. I'm doing pretty good. Can't complain.
Awesome. All right. How was your week? This is Saturday already.
Pretty good. It's been a pretty. I know.
That's
It
awesome.
went by fast, which was a good thing. So.
Yeah, time is going super fast. I cannot believe that it's already October and it's just like 2 months for the year to like be over and start a new year. That's good. And when the new year is coming, people have new resolution and new goals. And I like this topic to be we're gonna how did I say before, we were not talking about manifestation. So before we start talking about manifestation, what is manifestation, Brian? For the people there, they don't know clearly what is manifestation.
For the like 5 or 6 people who don't know what it is, like
Yeah.
everybody talks about manifestation these days. It's manifestation is the conscious creation of your life. It is you intentionally um, creating the life that you want, and you do that through your thoughts.
Awesome. So there's different way to manifest to manifest.
There's really only one way to manifest, but there are many tools that can help you manifest. But manifesting is a simple process, but it's not necessarily easy.
So when you think something like, because people say, "Oh, I try to manifest, but what I manifest doesn't happen." Why do you think it is the reason why a lot of people like block the manifestation process?
It could be a couple of reasons. One is that they don't believe that they can manifest it. That's a big one. Or they have some kind of block about whatever it is they're trying to manifest. Let's say that, for example, you're trying to manifest a lot of money, but you
Hmm.
feel like you have to work hard to get money. And that's a belief that you have. It's going to be almost impossible for you to manifest a lot of money if you believe that you have to work hard for it.
So, but there's also now that you said that there's a misconception too that a lot of people think the manifestation is just like, oh, I want this and I believe that I'm gonna get it and it's coming to me. But I think it is a process too. You have to take the action to make that manifestation happen.
You do have to take inspired action. That's the way I like to put it, because just taking action for the sake of taking action isn't really going to work. It has to be something that you're led to. I would say that the majority of the action that you should take while trying to manifest is all up here. It's mindset, it's energy, it's a mental thing more than an action thing.
Also, and we also we manifest what we believe, right?
Correct. I learned a new term. I was reading a book recently, and he replaced the word believe with a knowing, because a belief is good to have beliefs in, but the knowing is like the underlying energy. And I love this concept, the way he explained it. It's like if you have a knowing, you can have a good knowing or a bad knowing. If it's a bad knowing, it's going to block you from manifesting. And a bad knowing would be something like, I have to work hard to have money. If you believe that to the core of your being, it's going to block you. Or you can have a belief, or a knowing of, I'm not good enough, or that's too hard. I can't do that. And if you believe that deep inside, that's a knowing. And if you need to discover those first, because it'll prevent you from manifesting, no matter how many tools you use.
Awesome. And how you think that we can learn to manifest our dreams or our goals?
How can you learn it? There's
Yeah.
literally thousands of books and places you can look. I can recommend a few, like my Bibles if you want, but or you
Which
can.
one? Which one? Which one are those?
The very first manifestation book I ever read was by Esther Hicks, and it's called Ask and It Is Given. And she's been doing this, she's been lecturing and writing books on and doing videos on manifesting for probably more than 30 years. She was the first person I ever listened to when I learned manifestation. And she's more of a woo-woo person. So if you're into the woo-woo stuff, she's the one for you. And then the second book, if you're more scientific, then this book, it's called Breaking the Habit of Being You by Dr. Joe Dispenza. And that's more about quantum physics and the science behind manifesting. So if you're more of a science person, then that would be the book I would recommend.
Yes, that's great. That's good to know. Well, in my case, I will say Super Attractor and by Gabby Bernstein, and also The Universe Has Your Back. Those two books for me are kind of like, in my case, the Bible of manifestation, and you can like learn how to manifest. And she share a lot of secrets and a lot of like method also to manifest. But I think if you are new in this and you don't know a lot about the woohoo theme, good book to read. Like I say that it's the beginner for manifester is The Secret.
That's the very first piece of woo woo that I ever watched in my life. I have a story about that if you want to hear it.
Yeah,
It was
I would like to hear this.
it was how I was introduced to manifesting. I got a new job, and there was a coworker there who we eventually became friends, and she kept wanting me to watch this movie called The Secret, and this was like over 20 years ago, I think. And I was like, no, I'm not into that woo woo stuff. It's just not for me. And she didn't give up. She kept, every couple of weeks, she'd say, really think you should watch that. That would help with whatever problem I was talking to her about at the time. And after 2 or 3 tries, I finally watched, and I was hooked. I mean, it's a little cheesy now. It doesn't age very well, but and it has a lot of truth in it, but it doesn't go deep enough, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's for the reason that I say that it's kind of like the beginner for beginners, and if you want to like introduce to what is manifestation and the law of the attraction. It's funny because a lot of uh like speakers and a lot of like coaches like I don't know, like Gabby Bernstein that I follow her, also like Oprah, and they, and also the doctor Wayne Dyer, they say that they it's very like superficial, and it's good. And it's funny that you said the same thing. It's kind of like there's a lot of things that are missing in that book. But if you want to learn and you like interesting to like learn a little bit, you can start with The Secret and then go with um other books. So, and how how you been applying the manifestation in your life?
By consciously creating my life, the things that I want, I have goals, but even though I've been doing it for 20 years, I still have blocks, and I still discover blocks every once in a while that I didn't know were there, because they're not always apparent to you that they're there. But I did this experiment once. I read a book and it had a 21 days of manifesting, and
Mhm.
I manifested 18 days out of 21 days. I manifested exactly what I was trying for. So it gives you ideas, but you can do anything you want. Like you manifest seeing a turtle that day, or you can manifest finding $10 laying around. So out of 21 days, I manifested 18 days. So I know I'm good at it, but those 3 days that I didn't manifest, I did some, reviewing of that after the fact, and all three of them were things I had blocks around. So
Yeah, so always the blocks are the one the stop stop up of manif to a manifestation or a perfect manifestation. So, but another thing that also like block us is when we are manic manifester, like that we are trying to like get the things right away, or like we are doing, I'm doing this and I'm doing this and I'm doing this, and I'm not getting what I manifest. But and
that's
I
go ahead.
go ahead. No, I bring this because the last time that we had a podcast that we were together, you said this. We talk about manifestation, and you said there's sometimes when we know too much, that also can be a block, and that's when we become like a manic manifestors.
Yes, that's exactly right. And what the way that you were saying it, the way in the tone that you were using and stuff, I know you were putting that on for the show, but that's like needy, desperate energy. So when you have that and you're desperate for it, that's the energy of not believing that you're going to get what you want. Because when you know that you're going to get it, you don't have a worry about it. You just know it's coming. It's like when you go to the restaurant and you look at the menu and you place your order with the waitress or waiter. Once you give her the menu back, you don't think about the meal anymore until it comes. You know that meal is coming. There's nothing else that you have to do. You're just going to get that meal, and that's the way you have to look at the things you're manifesting. Once you have decided on your desire and you've meditated about it or journaled about it or visualized what it is that you want, then you gotta detach and let it go and just know that the universe is going to bring it to you.
Yeah, that's true. It's like you have to feel it. You have to like had that feeling that you, even though you don't have it physically, or you cannot touch it, is something material that you want to manifest. You have to feel that, and that's great that you say that example, because also when we order from Amazon, when we click and we order like whatever from Amazon, you get excited because you already feel, oh, that you already have it, because
Yeah,
you are sure that it's coming. And I think it is in the same way with manifestation. When you say, I want this and I'm gonna get this, and I don't know when, you have to be secure, and you have to be sure that you're gonna get that. Maybe it's
I
not right away, but you're gonna get it.
yeah, I love that. I love that better than my analogy. That's because I do get excited when I order something. I'm like, oh, I know tomorrow or the next day I'm going to get this really cool thing that I want, and I'm so excited.
And you're already planning what you're gonna do with that. It's the same way
Uh-huh.
with manifestation. So you have to be, for me, for me, honestly, the secret of manifestation is like faith in a higher power. So I believe that you gonna get that, and you trust that you are the co-creator of your life, and
Yeah,
you are co-creating your life, and you have to believe that everything is possible, and you can do it, and you can manifest whatever you want.
that's absolutely correct. But it's a very difficult thing for some people, even for me, who has manifested a lot in his life for many, many years. I still have things that I want to manifest that I have difficulty manifesting because I don't have that faith or deep, deep knowing that it's going to come. And recently, I thought it was a money block, but I discovered that it's they call it an upper limit problem. It's like I'm trying to manifest something that I've never done before. I have no experience with, so it's hard to visualize, and I feel like it's too big, almost like it's too big. Like, who do I think I am that I can't manifest something that big? So
That's great. That you said. Also, I think another secret of manifestation is be patient. Like you have
yeah,
to be patient, so especially in nowadays that we are as this modern this with this globalization, that everything is like we get everything right away. So we get also impatient and we want things right now. And when we don't get the things in the moment that we want, is when we start like saying, "No, I don't believe in that." And that's when we also block what is coming because maybe it's coming, but because you like say, "No, it's not happening," and that's a block. I think so. It's for the reason that we had to be patient and let just the thing flow.
yeah. If you're impatient because you don't fully believe, if you believe that it was a done deal and it was going to happen no matter what, then you wouldn't even feel the emotion of impatience. And you're right, we have gotten spoiled with this. They just opened an Amazon warehouse down the street from my house, so most of my stuff comes in one day. So when I
Oh
have to
wow.
order, when I have to order something from another company and it takes like a week or more, I get so fidgety. So we
that
have to
that
put
that
that.
that happened to me, and it's something that I'm working on it. And we as they are in this holistic journey, and we are always like trying to get better. We are working in that, and it's a journey. It's not a destination. We're always gonna have like doubts. We're gonna always have like things that we maybe we're missing that faith, like you said. But we are working in that, and that's the part also that we're gonna talk with people that we have to learn from that, and we be patient, like have faith. And something is hard is because I think part of that is the system belief that
Is
we
the
have,
what?
the system belief
Oh yeah,
or system belief that yeah that we how to say who I am to manifest that, or I don't think I can manifest that. So and those are also like blocks that we had to get rid of the system belief because you're deserved of anything that you want.
yeah, and it takes practice. Like if you, I mean, a lot of people aren't even aware of what their blocks are. And I've been in that position before. I've also been in the position where I thought it was one block and it turned out to be a completely different block. So you just have to be, if it hasn't manifested, it's because you have a block. I can almost guarantee that. There's something that you need to work on and work through in order for it to become. Because, I mean, that experiment that I mentioned earlier, like, it was almost infallible. Like, everything that I wanted manifested within a day or
Yeah.
two.
How are you feeling? How do you feel when you were doing that and the thing that you were like manifesting were happening?
I felt incredibly excited, and I was surprised that I felt surprised. I was like, "Why are you surprised? I mean, you've done this most of your life." But I was doing it intentionally in an experiment, and when I'm doing it other times, it's almost automatic, unless it's something really big, like I mentioned before. Like I'll journal about it, or I'll write about it, or visualize it, or I'll make a vision board with it, and then I don't think about it again, and then it eventually manifests. But when I was intentionally focused on it, it was like, this really works. I've done 18 of these in a row, or whatever.
Yeah. So and also like it's great that you feel that and you were playing and something that everybody knows that Gabby Bernstein is. I don't know her, which is my mentor.
Hey,
So
that's good.
she's saying
I never met my mentors either.
yeah. So and I say she said something because I was watching one video of her about manifestation, and she was saying something that she's totally right. She said that when we are having a good time and we are having fun, that's when we start manifesting. That's when we are manifesting because we are not like because we sure that we gonna get that. We had that faith and we start having fun and we not worry it's not it's that it's gonna happen or not. That's
Yeah.
when we start creating a manifestation.
Yeah, one of the things that Esther Hicks says is there's nothing more important to manifesting than feeling good. I mean, she preaches that all the time, is that your vibration needs to be in a high state of happiness, playfulness, joy, love. as long as you're up there, it doesn't have to be specifically focused on the specific thing that you're trying to manifest. Just being in that energy any way that you can will get you to manifest things.
Yeah, but also too, you can manifest it. You can manifest in that you even you don't want it, but your subconscious is like is getting that because it's you're like I think it's you're always you're carrying with you anger and you were always upset and you're thinking that you're gonna get sick. You're gonna attract those people like the people that are gonna make you feel annoying. You're gonna attract disease. And you do you believe that we can manifest disease?
Oh, that absolutely 100%. I believe that most disease is mental, created mentally or energetically. Like chronic negativity will definitely manifest as disease. And there are books out there that you can get that will tell you like specific aches and pains that you have or chronic illnesses that you have pertain to certain emotions that you're feeling on a regular basis. So yeah, I believe that. And what you said about manifesting what you don't want, that happens all the time. Like it's the same thing. If you're in a, like for me, I have had, I'm working on it, abandonment issues from my childhood.
Hmm.
So uh, I have a belief that people leave and people are going to abandon me. And so I manifest that by attracting people who do that. So,
That's nice. That's good that you said that because also I have my issues too, and I think we talked about it the last time that we got together, and I will say as assessment for me is one of my issues and something I think about it without even realize it. So and I attract that. So I feel that I don't belong in some certain space or I don't belong in certain group. So,
yeah.
and maybe I belong, but because I have that issue and I that trauma, that I manifest that. So, and
Yep.
that's true. It's mental. So we can you can subconscious manifest what you don't really want.
Well, the important thing is that you're aware of it and you recognize it, and you still have a little bit of work to do, even when you
Hmm.
know that you have aware that you have that block. Is at least half the work is already done.
So
That's when you're
yeah, that's
unaware
true.
of it.
'Cause
Yeah.
yeah, when I am aware about it, so because sometimes when I think about about my accent or when I think about the that person won't understand me, that that is in my mind. But that's when I start like stuttering or when I start yeah, that's true. And that's when I start stuttering or when I forget like how you pronounce the word or the
Hmm.
grammar. But when I just relax and I'm just talking or something like that. I just like the word just come out in the way that and I don't even realize. And other people say, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, I have the same thing. It's like I could talk about manifestation at a brunch without any problems, but you put me on film like I am right now, and I feel almost like all the information just falls out of my head. But when you're aware of it, like then you can fix it. And there's a lot of people out there who aren't aware of it. So when you have those thoughts of why does this keep happening to me? Why can't I get this? Why do these people keep doing this to me? Then you know that you need to do some kind of work to uncover what it is, what the limiting belief that you have that is drawing this stuff to you. That scares a lot of people too, because a lot of people don't want to take responsibility for their lives because then they can't blame anybody when it goes wrong. And that's scary for a lot of people, including myself years ago. But it's also empowering to know that you are in control of your life and you can get anything that you want.
That's good. That's good that you say that we as a human we are in control of our life. It's
Mhm.
like we sometimes we cannot control the circumstance, but we can control in the way that we react, and we can control how to take that. Is we take that as an opportunity or we just take that like oh my life is so miserable and that's when you attract that even though you say I don't want that in my life but you like you're manifesting that because you're subconscious that's where you're telling to your subconscious so and they don't the how to say the universe or God doesn't know what is like what you're saying is positive or negative.
No, it doesn't. It'll give you anything you want, whether it's good for you or not. So
Yeah, it's
you
just
gotta be aware of that.
yeah, whatever you put in your whatever you is coming from your mouth, that's coming to you.
Yeah, remind me. I'm going to tell you that we're going to talk about that about words in a minute after this. But Esther has a word for when those things happen in your life that you react to. She calls them. She calls it contrast. And contrast is when you experience anything that you deem unpleasant or unlikable. And so, but it's necessary because without contrast, without knowing what you don't want, you cannot identify what you do want. And I like the way she looks at it that way. So instead of getting upset about something bad that happened to you, be grateful that you now know what you want, and you can manifest that if you put your energy into it.
That's good. So, and that's what we're talking about the words, like spoken word, that also had a power, and that's another way to manifest, right?
Yeah. So the book I read recently, I've already believed that words have power, and the words that you use affect your energy field, and especially if you use them a lot. And they don't necessarily have to go by the dictionary definition of it, but whatever the word means to you, that's what you're going to vibrate at. And he gave an example of want. And I don't have it in front of me, but when you look up want in the dictionary, it is a very negative word. It's lack. And when you say you want something, you automatically activate the energy of, I don't have this. And so he suggests replacing it with desire. And it sounds like a small thing, but I started doing that and the energy already feels different. So, and there's a lot of other words like should.
Yeah. Like, yeah, I had to, instead of I had to, I got to use that,
Yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, because you say when you wake up and you say, "Oh, I have to go to work," so instead, I get to have to work. So that's you can replace it. This like different way to see their life. Like what we're saying is like
Yeah.
how you see the life and the way that you like speaking or saying. Is there a way to say?
Mm-hmm. It's funny because my friend just used that on me yesterday. Yesterday was supposed to be my day off, but I had to go. I had to work because it was some stuff going on, and I texted him. He asked me how my day went. I said, "Well, I had to work. I wasn't happy about that." And he goes, "You got to work."
You got to work, and it's a blessing that we had a work and we can work because there's a lot of people around the world they don't have that opportunity to get to work.
Yeah, and that brings up another topic. Like this is kind of counterintuitive, but like in order to manifest, you need to be happy and grateful for the life that you already have. That does not mean that you want to stay where you are, but when you show appreciation and gratitude, that is the number one emotion that you can channel to manifest something is appreciation and gratitude.
Yeah, I always say the gratification and the um, always say thank you is a way to say, hey, thank you for what I have, and I'm ready for more. So,
Exactly.
and when you're ungrateful, I don't know. Everybody has their different like higher power. In my case, it's God. And like when you're grateful with God for everything that you had, he say, okay, you're ready for more. I'm gonna send you this blessing. But when you're like always complaining and you're focusing in the lack, and you're focusing in the thing that you don't have, God is gonna say, or the universe is gonna say, no, if you cannot handle this that you have, you cannot handle the things that I have for you. So you're gonna stay there. So and that's the way that I see it, and that's the way that I try always like to be grateful. So just the fact to be here with you and doing this online, I'm grateful, and I'm super grateful with you because you accept my invitation to come here, and I'm grateful for the computer, for the people that create this program for we to be able like to do this online.
Yeah, I agree with what you said about when you're not grateful, but I don't look at it like God is withholding or punishing you for not being grateful. The way I look at it is God or the source or whatever is like it's like the grandparent. He's going to spoil you. He's going to give you whatever you want. And when you complain, he thinks that you like to complain, and so he gives you more things to complain about.
Yeah, that's another good way to put it too. Yeah, that's true. Okay. It's like I remember when I was a little boy, and for some reason I just start crying, and my mom, why are you crying? You have to reason to cry. Now I'm gonna give you a real reason to cry. I'm gonna
My dad
Yeah,
used to
that's
say to me all the time.
so that's true. That's a way I didn't look it up, but now that you're saying that, that's so true.
And that was a block. Like these are the things that carry forward through a long years for me. That was a block. My dad saying, "If you don't quit crying, I'm going to give you something to cry about." It made me less willing to cry and be emotional about things, which can be a block, a major block to manifesting things.
That's good. So, and Brian, which one which advice or tips do you have for people to manifest, to apply manifestation or to manifest?
You mean like the tools?
Yeah, tools. Sorry, my bad.
No, no, it's okay. I just because there's mental steps that we've been talking about so far. Those are the most important ones. But there are tools that can help you get into that mental state that you need to be in. And like some of the biggest ones that I use is I do a vision board every year at the beginning of the year in January, and I usually have a theme for what the year is going to be based on my long range goal for that year. And then I have a big bulletin board, and I put pictures up there and quotes and things where I can see it in my office every single day. That's one of the things that I do. And so when I look at it and I see that thing, picture of that thing that I want, it prompts me to think about it, put my energy towards it, visualize it. And vision boards can be as elaborate as that, or as simple as, like this year, I didn't do the bulletin board. I did a like a scrapbook, and that was fun creatively. Which creative energy is also good for manifesting. Anytime you're creating, you are mimicking the universe, so that helps. Also, like journaling and writing letters to your future self. That's helpful. Or writing a story about what your life will look like once you get whatever it is that you're trying to manifest. Those are some of the tools I use.
That's good. That one, I didn't. That one is the first time that I heard that one, to like writing a letter to your future self. That one is good. I'm gonna try to do that. I never had that. The journaling, yes, and the vision board. But that one is new for me. You see, I learned. I told you every time that we get together,
There,
I learn something.
there are so many tools. There's Jim Carrey is famous for writing himself $1 million check, and he even put a date on it because this was before he became a big actor. And he earned that money. It was well into the future, and he carried this check in his wallet for a long time before he became famous. And his first big movie that he got that amount when his first movie was when he was hired to do his first big movie, and it took
Wow.
years.
Yeah. Oh my God. That's incredible, because it also that worked because he believed and he was sure that he was gonna get that. So, and that's another is the secret, the most important secret of manifestation. Believe and have faith that you gonna get it, and you already have it. And that, I think, he have that check in his wallet made him feel that he already have the 1 million, and he finally get it.
And you have to stick with it, because I tried to manifest a vacation in the Caribbean, and it was on my vision board for 5 years in a row, and eventually it came to be. It's not. There's many reasons why it might not manifest as quickly as you want it to, and there's no way to get into all the possible reasons, but it was there. And then I remember I saw this woman speaking one time, and she wanted to buy a cabin in the woods, and she wanted to use it for healers, Reiki people, and all that, for as a retreat for them to recharge when they were, overwhelmed or whatever. And it took her years, but she built a shed in her house. And for years, she bought things for her cabin that she still had no idea how she was going to manifest. And she put them in the shed. And I think she said it took her 10 or 15 years, and she finally got the cabin. And her shed was a big shed in her yard, and it was half full of things that she was going to put into the cabin. That was how strong her faith was. She knew it was happening, and she kept that faith for 15 years. And that story was so inspiring. Like, never give up just because it hasn't manifested. It could be because you have a block that you haven't identified, or it could be that the universe is trying to work out the perfect time for it to happen. Maybe you're not ready to receive it today, and you'll be ready next year, or 10 years, or 20 years.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I use journaling, and also I use pictures that I put in my journal to, like, every time that I see the pictures, like, I had it, and I like to have the feeling. So, and I'm trying to manifest a new car. So, and sometimes when I'm driving, I see the car that I want in the traffic light or something like that. I just no, I don't close my eyes because I'm driving, but I imagine that I'm driving that car, and I
Yeah,
know that I'm gonna get it.
good for you. Yeah, there's a tool you can use. Like, a big tool that you can use. This is difficult for some people. Was the struggle for me in the beginning too. But like, putting yourself in the energy of having that thing. So for you with the car, you could go to the dealer, even though you can't afford it yet, or for whatever reason that you can't get the car yet, and take it for a test drive. And to make it as real as you possibly can, so that you can feel what it feels like to have it. And as long as you know it's a good feeling and you can keep that, it'll help you manifest your car.
Yeah, that's true. There's so many, like, method and tool that you can use to manifest, but people don't realize, or we don't realize that we can use it, or we think, it's a lot of work. Or also or ego is another blog of manifestation. Like, because we, how to say, oh no, I don't have that yet. How am I gonna feel that I have $1 million in my bank if I don't have it?
Well, I'm glad that you asked that, because that's a challenge for me as well. Like, especially right now, like, I'm trying to manifest something that I have no idea what it feels like. And really, whenever we pick something that we want to manifest, like your car, or this job that I want to have, I want to move to California. Whenever we pick something, it's really not the thing that we're trying to manifest. It's the feeling we think we're going to have when we get that thing. So if you don't know what it is, feels like to have something you've never had before, focus on the feeling that you think it's going to bring you, and then that'll bring it.
Yeah, I'm taking my notes. The feeling there of having that. That's good.
Yeah, like
That's good.
like me moving to California, like, I love it there. I feel like I'm at home when I'm there, and so that's the feeling that I try to think about when I'm there, because I don't know how I'm going to get to California. I don't know how I can afford it by myself. I haven't worked all that stuff out. And that brings up another thing. There's another writer who calls those the wicked hows. You're never supposed to be in the wicked hows. And it's not your job to figure out how it's going to manifest. It's only your job to know that it will, and the universe will work out the hows.
That's good.
As soon as you get into the hows, you're like, I can't afford to live in California by myself. Well, that's where you go. You start going into lack mentality when you try to figure out how it's going to work. It's not your
That's
business.
true. And also, Brian, do you think that with the people that we surround affect, or can be a block of manifestation too?
Absolutely, 100%. Especially, this ties into the human design. I'm a projector in human design, and I have a lot of open centers, which means that I'm highly influenceable. So if I hang around a lot of people who are negative and don't believe in the woo-woo stuff, or don't think that they're in control of their lives or manifest, then that's going to have an impact on me. I've built up defenses and resources, but there's that saying, the 5 people you spend the most time with, that's your life. So you can't tolerate that kind of energy in your life, because it'll prevent you from living the life that you really want to live.
Yeah, that's true. Because when people start saying, "No, you're not gonna get it. How are you gonna get it? You don't have the money." So with that, where do you have you? And then that's start you, like, believing in that, what people are saying like that, and it's also part.
Go ahead.
And also part of the system belief that we had since we were kids, and what other people taught us.
Yeah, and I think we're especially susceptible to that when it's taking longer than we wanted it to, and people have said, "You've been trying to do this for years, and when are you going to give up?" Well, the answer is never. I'm never going to give up because eventually it's going to happen.
Yeah, and you sure that it's gonna happen. That's
Yeah,
okay. Awesome.
yeah,
That's so. Thank you, Brian, for take the time to be here with me and talk about manifestation. This subject that is like how I said at the beginning, a lot of people know about it, but we don't apply it for the same thing because we don't have the say, or we believe that it's a woo-woo thing, but it's actually that is all right. So, but thank you so much for this lesson, because this is a lesson from you, like teaching us more about manifestation, how you apply manifestation, and how being your life applying manifestation too. So, but uh, before the episode end, I always have a couple questions, like random questions. These one are easy though. All right. So we took about, because we read a lot of books. So because it's part of what we do. So where was the last book that you read?
I just read that.
And
Go ahead. The
so
last
yeah,
book.
what was the last book that you read, and what did you learn from that book?
The last book I read to prepare for this podcast was it's a new um, manifesting book called The Conscious Creators a Workbook. That's where I learned about the knowing thing, and that's the main takeaway that I got from that book is, I mean, basically manifestation is there's lots of different teachers and they're saying the same things, but they're using different words. And so even somebody like me who has a lot of experience with it, you can still get new insights when you read somebody else's take on what manifesting is. So I highly encourage that, not just to stick with this one. So yeah, that was my newest latest read.
Awesome. And what was the what was the thing that you did? Sorry, what was the last time that you did something for the first time?
The last time, well, I've done a lot of things. I started the podcast with you the last time, which was like a couple months ago. I did that for the first time. I started a new group called High Vibe Tribe. That was new for me, and now I'm working on a top secret thing that I've never done before that I'm trying to work through.
All right. And the last question is like, what would you say to your future you?
What would I say to my future you?
Mm-hmm.
I would say thank you for sticking with it, and thank you for giving me the life that I want because I know he's already done it.
Awesome. I love that. I love that answer. Awesome. Thank you so much, Brian. You're awesome. You're great, and how do I say, your energy is give me a lot of calls, and not
Good.
just me, a lot of people too. Thank you so much for accepting to do this podcast again, and I really appreciate it. And thinking we're gonna do another. We had another project too that we are working now. That is like this fundraiser for the childrens of Nicaragua. We Preston, you and I, we working to like get some money to do like how you say, like kind of like an event for the kids in Nicaragua to get like meals and toys
Giving
for
them a
Christmas.
Christmas, like
Yeah,
I think what you're doing is wonderful. Like um, these poor kids that like I think you mentioned to me once that they get, if they're lucky, one meal a day, and
yeah,
they don't have holidays like we have them here. I mean, we're definitely spoiled here compared to other areas of the world, and for a small effort on your part, we can help many kids have a special day that they don't normally get to have.
yeah, that's true. And thank you for that. Thank you for the support, you and Preston, of course. And we have more projects to do too with the podcast, and I'm super excited for that. And thank you so much. We will see you next time. Thank you. Thank you to all the viewers and all the people that listen to the podcast on Spotify or on YouTube. Thank you for your support. That my intention with the podcast is always give this message to people that you can do anything that you want, that you have the control of your life. You can achieve any goals, and you can make any dreams happen. Everything is here, and you can manifest anything. You can manifest it whatever you want. You only have to have faith, and you have to believe in yourself and be sure that you already have it. Thank you so much. We will see you next time, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the channel. Give me a thumbs up, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Thanks.
Thank
Bye,
you,
everybody.
Brian.
Thanks, Joseph.